this role of the father in this movie. What was it like for you?
It was incredible because I think that, we don't usually see these ordinary blue-collar men who are pretty ordinary in their way of being that are actually, to me, very extraordinary. And they're sort of the superheroes in a way. They are Black Panthers because they're holding down the family. James Balwin knows this. We all know this. But I think that we don't usually see those complex depictions of men in cinema. And so I just basically had to go to the men that I know that raised me in many ways to really help give light to them and what their wants and needs are, to show that they have complexity and humor and love and sexy moments with the wife, and they can also lend a shoulder to their ailing daughter. These are men that we know so very well, but a lot of times we don't see that complexity, and it's up to writers like James Balwin and new writers out there, and also directors like Barry Jenkins to illuminate these guys. So I feel amazing.
And can we have another hand for Kiki? This is your first feature film?
It definitely had its scary moments, but I tried to, push more and lean more into the excitement. I just had to, trust the people around me. I come from a theatrical background, so I tried to, bring a lot of the things that had worked for me in theater, and had to learn that some of those things do not work for film. But thankfully, I had so many just really supportive, patient people around me as I was learning, those things and all of these new techniques and skills for being in a film.
And just one more question before we open it up to the audience. There was the incredible scene where Funny and Daniel were at the bathtub/table, and they're just, sharing their stories, and Daniel's like opening up about his experience being incarcerated, and it was probably one of the most stunning examples of Black men being vulnerable. It's almost, I think, one of the few examples of, I believe, how we are when white people aren't looking. It was just this incredible, I thought, beautiful scene, and I was wondering, Barry, if you could talk about how you constructed that scene and how your choices around how you're able to create that beautiful moment.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite scenes or sequences in the novel. And the novel was broken up into two different sections, but in the film we wanted to keep it intact. It's usually odd to have a 12-minute scene in a film. Most scenes are on average a minute and a half to 3 minutes, but that's a 12-minute scene. And for me, it was about this idea that you meet Fonny, you meet Tish, you establish that they're soulmates, and you understand their life and the circumstances that unfortunately have befallen them. And then this character, Daniel Carney, just walks into the film, hey, boy, just shows up. And you're wondering, why is this guy here? And I think that the life that Fonny is living, and the life that Tish is trying to hold on to, you see in Daniel what could potentially happen to that life and what happens to the lives of so many young Black men who get trapped by the system. And so for me, it was like this thing where, when two Black men see each other on the street, they haven't seen each other for a while, it's like, hey, what's up, how you doing? It's like, I'm good. But then the conversation keeps going on, it's like, I'm good, and then the conversation keeps going on, I'm good, but. And then eventually it's like, you know what, actually, I'm not that good. And so for me, it was about trying to build a sequence in a film where Brian and Stefan could negotiate this idea of, am I good? And get to the point where Brian, as Daniel, can clearly show, this thing happened to me, and I'm very much not good. And it kind of goes back to, Stefan talks about research for him in this film. He watched the documentary on Khalif Browder, and Khalif Browder was a young man who spent 3 years at Rikers for something he did not do. And then when he finally was released, he committed suicide because the trauma that he experienced made him very much not good. And so that sequence, Brian shows up, and Brian's such an amazing actor. He's like chilling, he's talking, he's cracking jokes, drinking beer, smoking cigarettes, and then by the end of it, he's retreated so far into himself that, again, this trauma that these young men experience, you can see a projection of it onto potentially what's going to happen to Fonny at the end of the film. So even though it's a 12-minute sequence in the middle of a 2-hour film, it seemed like all the things that are at stake were just embodied in this amazing actor. So it was really important to me, and a little secret sauce here. The song that plays as the Miles Davis starts to float out of the room, you hear this rumble, this synth kind of up here on the soundtrack. It's the exact same song that plays when Tish and Fonnie first make love. But this thing that's a symbol of joy and love and fruition has now been corrupted and corroded to something that is torturous and a symbol of despair. So, which is how I feel like a lot of these young black men's lives function when they get caught up in the system. So it's one of my favorite sequences in the film. And Brian flew up from Atlanta, actually, to film that scene in one day. An amazing actor.